public comments at this time from anyone? No? Correspondence that has been received?
No meaningful correspondence. I've gotten a few inquiries from the other people that submitted requests for proposal responses, just kind of wondering where we were at. So as soon as we're done here today, if we approve a contract, I'll let them know what's going on.
The next item is the approval of the minutes for the October 30th meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from the October 30th meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. This time we can act to approve the financial reports. Do you have a financial report?
Yeah, so you have two pages in your packet. One is the balance sheet. Shows cash of about $33,000. Portion of that is balances that we're holding that need to be distributed to the TIF reimbursable entities. So the city gets some of that, and eventually North Channel and or River Park will get some of that. So we just are holding that for right now until we can get it distributed. And that leaves us about an $18,700 fund balance. I think I've mentioned before, I'm gonna have to work, and we're gonna have to work with the new consultant closely to make sure that our balances, our revenues and expenses kind of are gonna be in balance. I'm sure it's gonna be more costly working with this person, as we talked about, than it will be with T, so we're just gonna have to make sure we kind of moderate that and maybe adjust our rates a little bit when we have applicants and stuff, so. But for now, we're fine. And then the second sheet I gave you was the revenue and expenditure report. Again, we've had no revenue come in this year because we haven't had any people that have paid for plan review or anything like that. We have had some expenses, professional and consulting services, about $2,300. That was a catch-all invoice from T that had a variety of different things on it. He doesn't bill monthly. T bills when he kind of thinks about it, so that probably goes back almost to the beginning of the fiscal year. Working on helping prepare the RFP, helping with the evaluation, meeting with a few people that had interest in maybe doing some projects. So that's what that expense is entailing. And then there was a little bit of printing and publishing, which was advertising for the RFP when we issued it. And then a little bit of travel and training expense, which was a MEDA, Michigan Economic Development Association conference that I went down to. It was a one-day. And I think there'll be the hotel bill will still be coming in, it just hasn't been processed yet. So that's a total of $2,500 that we've had for the year against no revenue, so that's drawn down our fund balance a little bit. Are there any questions on any of the financials?
Okay, is there a motion to approve the balance sheet and revenue and
I'll
expense?
make a motion, we approve the balance sheet as read.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Old business, consideration of entering into an agreement with Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr and Huber Incorporated.
So, at the last meeting, we talked about how the process had gone. We talked about the applicants that we had received and who we thought the finalists should be, and the board appointed a committee to do the interviews, which was Megan as the chair, myself as administrator, and T as the consultant. We conducted the interviews with the three firms, and that subcommittee was unanimous that Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr, and Huber be selected. I had the city attorney approve a contract. I sent it down to them to look at. There was a couple minor changes. We incorporated those, finalized it, sent it down to them. They're okay with it, and actually the copy that was in your packet was executed. So what we're asking for today is for the board to consider entering into that agreement with Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr, and Huber, and if so, Megan and I will execute the agreement. But I included the agreement in your packet. It's pretty standard based on what we had done with T before. There's a lot of information in here. I don't anticipate we're going to be doing all of this work, like, we probably won't be getting another EPA grant for a while unless something else comes out. We've already done brownfield assessment grants and hazardous and petroleum. But there's a lot of things in here that we will be when people come and might be considering a TIF plan or just want some background information if I can't provide it and those sorts of things. So we've pretty much covered everything in here. We've got incorporated the fee schedule that they had put in their application. Talks about the lump sum for the Brownfield plan and the BRA meeting prep and the travel fee and expense. And then the hourly rate. Specifies that they're an independent contractor, not an employee of the Brownfield Authority. Talks about, how you can terminate this, and other basic standard language. So I don't know if there's any questions that the board has on the contract.
I think we had some really qualified, just some really great candidates for the position. I think we're really happy with who we've selected.
Yeah, I think Roman, the main contact for Fishback, will be really, really good for the community and for us. And, he's got some big shoes to fill with T, but I think this guy's young and hungry, and I think he'll be energetic and looking for projects and stuff, so, should be good.
Any other discussion? A motion to approve the entering into the agreement with Fishbeck, Thompson, Carr, and Huber.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. There's no new business according to the agenda.
No new business?
Staff reports?
Okay, so, couple things. On the North Channel Outlet project, we had not received or have not received the request for approval of the reimbursable expenses yet. T is working on that. I'm expecting those in January. That'll work out well because Roman will be on board and be able to help review those, so there won't be any conflicts there. Otherwise, we might have had to have had somebody else come in, so the timing of that's good. So that's one thing. The other thing is, which is down the road a little bit, but the old Charter Communications building, and it used to be an oil company before that, out on the bend on Park, before you get to Parkdale on the left as you're going out of town. Manistee Vinyl used to be there. That's been bought. They're pursuing a grant from the MDEQ through the County Brownfield Authority, and the city manager and I talked about that. This was a couple months ago, and for a variety of reasons, we preferred that they do that through the county, because there probably is gonna be some other grant requests coming for bigger projects in the city, and it just made sense. And the developer expressed a preference in working with the county, so that doesn't hurt us at all. But now they're saying they may wanna do a TIF plan, and that's not, they haven't asked for that yet, but it's the potential that they, if it makes sense, they would do that. And I think that would make sense to have that be done through the county as well, for a couple of reasons. One is their consultant is Roman from Fishback, Thompson, Carr, and Huber. So if we did it, that would present a conflict for us, and we'd have to deal with that. And the second thing is, it would be better for them to do that all through one, so they don't have to deal with both organizations. If they pursue a TIF plan, we'll still have, we being the city, we'll still have to approve that. City council will have to approve that, and so if there's any public infrastructure in that area that we want included in that, that'll be a conversation. I doubt there's gonna be very much. It's not gonna be a very big TIF plan if they pursue it, so that'll be down the road. I think we should let the county take that one personally, and then we'll, we can move on from there, but I'm not sure what the timing of that's gonna be and how that's gonna play out.
So that property is just within the city limits then?
Yeah, yep, just within the city, because the city limit ends there kind of at Burger King.
Burger King,
Yeah.
What
And,
is their proposed plan for that?
they want to do a mixed use with some residential. Right now, there's some deed restrictions on the property that they got to work through though, so I'm not sure how long that's going to take. Right now, it doesn't allow for residential.
Okay.
So they're trying to get those waived, and I think that might take a little bit of time to see where that goes, but that's the plan right now. And apparently there's a lady on, I can't remember her name right now, but she's on the County Brownfield Authority that has a lot of experience in these types of areas because she worked for the state kind of in this area. So she's kind of taken the lead on that, and I've gotten some email from her, you know, on the county project, so that's just kind of an aside. There may be some other brownfield stuff coming forward, you know, the Ironworks building is, there's still developers looking at that, so I'm sure they're gonna be looking at something there for tax abatement for, or being able to clean up, because that's got some contamination on that site, but we haven't seen anything formally yet. So that's all I've really got for staff reports. Any questions at all, or?
Okay, is that all for the staff reports? The next meeting date is the 15th of January.
Well, I threw that date out there. That may be a little early, because I don't know if I'll have anything for the agenda. I'm not sure if North Channel Outlet will have submitted their paperwork by then. But I put that on as a placeholder. Otherwise, I'm thinking by the end of January, we might need a meeting. I don't know what people's travel schedules are like. I know you go south, right, Jeff, for a while, or?
I do, may be here on the 15th, I may be gone, I'm not sure.
Okay. And when would you be back? Do you know roughly? Okay. Is anybody else traveling?
I'll be back by then.
Okay. So we'll see. If we don't have paperwork, I won't schedule it. If we do, we still may push it back a week, and then, but we normally try to meet, I think, isn't it the second Tuesday of each month? Yeah. So, this would be the third, because you've got the January 1st is a Tuesday this year, and then you've got the 8th, and then the 15th. So we'll try to shoot for that second Tuesday as our kind of standard placeholder. If everybody wants to mark their calendar for that, that would be good. Just to kind of keep that open, even though we may not be having a monthly meeting if we don't have anything to talk about. But that's what we'll kind of keep shooting for, unless there's a better date. You know, if the third Wednesday works better, we can do, or third Tuesday, we can do that, or we can pick a different day. There's nothing cast in stone about that. That's just what we've kind of traditionally done. Does that work for everybody? Okay.
Good.
All right. And I'll let you know, I'll get with T and after the first of the year and see if they're planning on submitting anything or not. That's all I've got.
Okay, any discussion, any members here? No discussion? And I guess the meeting's adjourned?
Thank you for your attendance today. That's a record, 3:20.
We're good.